Welcome to We Should Probably Edit This.
But we won't. This is about our life's messy journey. It's unscripted, talks about growth, real laughs.
Sometimes real laughs, sometimes just the chaos, and we think there's a little bit of comedy here.
Yeah, everything.
It's about our 37 years of marriage and our experience. I'm Matthew Greger.
And I'm Nancy Greger, and we're your host of We Should Probably Edit This.
But we won't.
There you go.
And we probably should have edited that. So, here's our next episode.
Yes.
All right, we're on, and it's working today.
Yay.
Okay. Well, welcome to our first March episode. And we should probably edit this.
But we won't. So, are you wondering where we've been? Oh boy, what have we been doing these last few weeks? I don't remember the last time we did this.
You know, it was right before we started really moving and things.
Okay. So, we listed our house, and the realtor did a coming soon type of deal. So we listed our house, and then a week later, we were going to start the showings. And we said, okay, starting Saturday from, I think it was 9 o'clock in the morning till about 7 o'clock
Well,
at
originally
night.
we had set up two showings,
We set up Saturday
and
and Sunday. However,
There was a big snowstorm that was
huge.
coming.
It was a big snowstorm. So we had to cancel Sunday. We did all day Saturday. We got a Saturday in. And then we rescheduled for Tuesday and Wednesday. It was a whirlwind of showings. It was like unbelievable.
Yeah, we had over 40,
I would say 46.
45 showings.
Yeah, 46 showings. So it was a lot of people.
So it was within 1 week span time, starting
Saturday.
Saturday, and it ended Wednesday.
and then
And
Thursday.
then they had the highest and best on Thursday.
And by Thursday night, we had accepted an offer. So
Yeah, there were
even a
over
week.
12 offers that came in.
there were over 12 offers. They were a range from what I would consider realistic to I don't know what you're thinking. But that was
okay.
good for us
Yeah.
because we ended up selling the house for a price that I would have never imagined that we would get. And so because of that, we're closing March 9th. We had a little bit of hiccup. Inspection caused us a little bit of a hiccup.
It's a lot of stress when you're moving, and when you're for sure, because you don't want the deal to fall apart, but yet you've got 11 other offers.
We were moving regardless of where the offers took us. We made that commitment that we were going to move. We were going to give the house 1 week fully furnished, and by the following week, we were moving.
And which we did. So we've moved, we've sold the house, we've gone through inspections, we had to deal with open permit issues. We had to repaint,
Fix
clean
holes,
the house,
clean the house,
and
by yesterday,
yeah.
we finished it all.
We finished
everything
the
with
entire house.
Yeah.
It's ready to close next week.
Yeah, because we are going to be gone. We are going to San Diego for our Ultra event. Yay!
Yes.
We're going to be meeting up with some fellow friends that we haven't seen for a while.
Right.
And we're looking forward to it. So
Our growth friends.
our
which
growth
we're looking
friends.
forward to.
So it's going to give us an opportunity to get a little warmer because it is cold here where we live. Get a little warmer and relax a little bit.
Get rid of the white snow for a little while. This winter has been an interesting winter.
It's been brutal.
For sure.
It's been the winter that years are in the making. That before you,
Yeah.
before you
Well, normally here where we live in Norwalk, Connecticut, if you get snow, it doesn't last very long.
No.
Maybe a week. It warms back up and it's gone. And usually the snow that does come, sometimes it's plowable or snow shovelable or snow blowerable. But this time we've had so much snow And then it got so cold the first time around,
Yeah.
before this last blizzard that came through.
Froze.
Everything was just frozen. You haven't
Yeah,
seen green grass in a
mountains.
long time, and
Mountains and
we were
mountains of
lucky. We
snow.
were lucky. There was that big snowstorm in December that we got stuck in after taking Ben from the
Yeah,
airport
yeah,
with
yeah.
that.
But that kind of came and
No, but
then
it lasted a while. But then we warmed up just enough to like get rid of
melted.
it so we could have our photos made for the house for the
For the house,
listing.
for the outside. It was beautiful. By that point, the grass was, you could
You can
see
see
the
it. Yeah,
grass. There was no snow
I'm not quite
anywhere.
sure it was as
So,
green as what was in the listings photos,
no, I
but
think it was. I
yeah.
think it was because you can't change something without disclosing it. So I'm pretty sure that that was the color. But we ended up with one really fabulous day of
Yeah.
beautiful and warmer weather that we were able to get the pictures done. So things always happen for a reason. And while it's always a little traumatizing, I don't think this is the third house we've bought and sold. I don't
But
remember
why
any
does this one seem more
house.
stressful than the others? Is it
No, I think you forgot. I think it's like
is that what it is? Is that
yeah,
so?
it's
Next
like
year
when
at
you
this time, if you
forget.
ask me about it, I won't think it was as stressful.
I think we learned for each move and we learned from each house, right?
Right.
Um, we lucked out for the first two houses, actually even this house, because the first house I wasn't a realtor, but the second house I was, and the third house I was. So we saved on some commission when we bought and sold. But this
When
time,
you bought this third house, but when we sold this third house, we were not.
correct.
You were no
I
longer a
was an
real
agent
estate.
for 17 West Pine, but and an agent for 98.
When we bought it, but when you sold the house
Yeah.
this time around, you were not.
We saved a little
So
bit of money. That was the
in the
big
beginning,
difference.
but
But
this
this
time we
time we
didn't.
didn't. We
So,
we hired someone
but I don't know if we
who,
would have gotten the price we got if we hired somebody else.
well, let me put it this way. He was
Yep.
very confident of what he felt we were going to get for the house. Compared to the other agents,
Right.
he was like up here, and the other agents were kind of like, this is where I'm
Well,
feeling.
he
So
proved his worth
he
on
did.
it, and
He did prove his
and
worth.
but yeah. So through the process, I think what it teaches you or taught me is just to have a little more faith and a little more patience, and knowing that the process is going to go through. I mean,
Yeah.
when the inspection report came through, when they did that, it was just like it seemed insignificant, the things that were in there. And look, even afterwards when he came to pick up the radon test, I talked to the inspector a little bit, and he said he had to like struggle to find anything wrong with our house.
Yeah, but he still managed to put some things down.
Right,
So
right.
I'm not sure about that. But the good news is um, we have been very much on a mission since we decided to put the house on the market. We were very much on a mission to get rid of a lot of things, and we got rid of a lot of things. And even to yesterday, at the very last day, we had two pieces of furniture left in the house, and
Yeah.
we finally sold those two pieces of furniture. So I would say to somebody, if this is what you're going to want to do, don't wait to the last minute to do any of it. Plan what it is that you're going to do,
Well, this will be
and
since we
move
started it.
it.
It'll be 6 months
Yeah.
that we actually. It's been a 6 month process.
Yep.
And that's still even a short window of time. I mean, we didn't really start doing a lot till end of November. End of November.
We it was cleaning up. It was
Yeah.
cleaning up, and it was kind of getting the house to
Well, I
the
mean,
point
it's
where
like
it was
we went from
organized.
a house to a condo,
Right.
and so we got rid of the garage, the storage shed, the basement, and over the years, that's where a lot of stuff is.
Yeah. It's the someday stuff.
Keep hitting the. Yep.
Keep
Keep.
going.
I'm the one that's doing the
So
wiggly
it
there.
was the someday stuff. Someday this is going to come, and I'm going to need this someday. It turns out that that's probably the one word we decided we're never going to use again. There is no someday. It's now or never. There's no
Right.
someday.
Right.
So once you take that in your mind, that it's now or never, you make decisions a lot faster.
I mean, that's what we did with this decision. We had to decide what are we keeping and what are we not. I really did my best to get rid of those someday things that are in there. I do still have my buoys for my boat because someday I will have a boat, but I will have a boat again. And there are a few things, but most of all the tools and stuff are just stuff that I could use now with things that I do.
Yeah.
There's a few things that I probably don't really need, but
Is that it had to fit? The good thing about this particular condo that we moved into is it gave us a pretty big storage unit that we were able to.
6x9, and
Yeah.
and we organized it in such a way. We brought in some of their metal shelves, and then we got uniformed
Boxes,
storage containers, not the real big standard 27-gallon ones, but we got 17, and they fit really nice on those shelves. So as long as we can get everything in there, it's uniformed, and it makes storing things that much easier.
Much easier and
So
simpler
if
to
you're
do.
if you're gonna do that, really consider about being consistent and putting things in unified, containers. It just makes it much easier for stacking.
Yeah, and by this time around, we didn't really have anything to give to the kids because two of our kids live far away, and the third one, he's local, but not really ready for some of the things that we had. So it was a good decision just to sell it or donate it. And
Yeah.
boy, we
I just
donated equal
wish
share.
there was a better source for donation.
Yeah, the donation part wasn't. I mean, let me put it this way: we could have done free. We could have put on Facebook Marketplace free, but we would be dealing with
With
so many people,
we already did some free stuff, and it was
and
crazy.
it was crazy. It was
But
crazy.
but even like a donation way to donate things, because we used Habitat for Humanity, and I really thought for sure that what we had put together were things that they would take.
People could use, but
And it's like I
they
had
got
like all
picky,
my garden tools.
and none of them went.
They wouldn't take any of them.
They wouldn't take any of the garden tools, and you were
And
kind of like, "What?"
yeah,
And it was interesting. Yes, it was a learning experience, absolutely. Um, but I mean, let's face it, we still worked out. I think from selling all of our stuff, we made well over $6,000
right.
in the things that we
I
sold.
mean, it's a fraction of the
fraction
of
of
the
what
amount
we
of what
yeah,
we paid for
of
it. But
what
you
we
have to
paid
realize
for it, but
you're lucky to get 25% of what you bought it for.
yeah, you
So
want to get rid of it, so
yeah,
you had to make things enticing enough to get somebody out there. And some things we got rid of were very, very heavy pieces. I mean, it was kind of like, oh, who is going to pick this up because it weighs 800 pounds or something. So, but we did it. High five.
high five.
We did it.
I mean, I think the thing that threw us for a loop last week was when we got the municipal records and they showed 3 open
Yeah,
permits.
here's the funny thing is that I had a feeling we were gonna have some open permits. I had a feeling
You
it
had
was.
this feeling
Yeah, because it was certain things were done right
during
around
COVID.
COVID.
They were done during COVID.
And I distinctly remember the electrician with the garage. And I remember
but I thought they took care of
no,
that.
he took pictures. He kept sending pictures. They kept going back and forth. He would show up and the inspector wouldn't. And it was one
Yeah,
thing after the other. And I think we just resolved ourselves to saying, okay, we'll just let it go.
But a lot of the contractors, they didn't follow up on getting the final inspections. So that's what really happened with it. And so there were 3 open permits. Fortunately,
In a
we
week.
only had to do one corrective measure.
We fixed things in 4 days because Monday was
Right.
a snow day. The city was closed. We got notified
On
via
Tuesday.
email. And within 4 days, we had it all done.
Yeah, we had our certificates of compliance, but there was only one thing we had to fix. The others was getting health
Yeah,
out,
signing off.
getting zoning back out, just getting people to see that.
The one thing
where
we had to
were.
fix was the garage.
Right. We had to put a cutoff.
that was
So, but it was nerve wracking because it was one thing that could still be a clause that the buyers could get out of
Correct.
if they found anything with
If
the
they
city
had,
records.
if there were open permits, there would be a reason for them to be able to back out of the deal. Now, from this point on, there is no reason.
Right.
We made sure that our deal was no mortgage contingency and no appraisal contingency, which means if you were getting financing, I could care less whether you got approved or not. You had to show me that you had the money to buy my house cash outright if you needed to. And two, if you got financing, you were 100% the lender was going to get an appraisal. I didn't care what the house came in appraised at. So if the house came in at a lower point from what you purchased, that just
Right.
means you're going to have to come to the table with more money. So we made sure that those two conditions were part of our contract and part of our deal. And so because of that, I'm like, okay, so we did our end. We made sure that the permits got resolved and we sent that to our attorney. We already signed off on the documents because, like I said, we're going to be away. So now it's just a matter of, hey, buyer, come to the table and bring a checkbook. So it'll be freeing when we come back from San Diego because
Right.
at that point in time, we're 100% out of the other house.
Well,
And
we won't have that responsibility with all the snow.
oh,
That's also it's the added burden of knowing that you're having to take care of that place, even though we're in a condo now, and this is more or less taken care of by the management for the snow. But that house we still had to be responsible for. So I mean, all my
Shoveling,
cameras
plowing.
are still up and running, so I can just see what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, like we had, I heard a noise the other day on it, and I didn't know what it was. And I said, "This isn't a normal noise." And so when I went in, the sump pump was continuously running because when they did the inspections and they looked at it, there's a hose that comes from the dehumidifier in there, and it got stuck on the float, because they didn't put it back in correctly.
Correctly. So little things like that. So
I mean, it's like when you live in a house,
You're
you
there.
pay attention to what things are.
The sounds
I mean,
that it makes and
Right.
things
So
that
if
happen.
you're leaving a house open or vacant for a period of time, just make sure you have the appropriate monitor things in place.
in
for it.
place because
Yeah.
you definitely
Especially
knock on wood,
especially
don't want
during
anything.
the wintertime like this when it was so cold for so long.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you leave the heat running. And you don't want ice dams or any
Nope.
of those kind of things to
Nope.
happen.
So I think
So that's the last
we
you're
can
gonna
take
hear.
a baby sigh of relief now because we
Yeah.
have made this a monumental change. So starting in 2026, we're already into March. 2026 is really just push. We have done a tremendous amount, and now we are going to begin the next process, which is you get ready to retire.
Well, get ready to retire in 8 years.
Yes, but what I mean by getting ready
Investing,
to retire is that
investing.
getting our finances in
Right.
order so that
Right.
in those few years when they come, we're here, we're prepared, and we're ready.
Yeah. That's what we'll go through in future shows. What we're doing to invest, how we're investing.
And it's not
You
too
know.
late.
Right.
Just because, coulda, woulda, shoulda. When I was 20 years old and I was working, should I have done certain things? Absolutely. But back then, it's like there was no cell phones back then,
No.
right?
What it was is we were using that word again. Someday we're going to do this.
Yes, and then it catches up to you because life moves very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And before you know it, it's here. So now is the time to plan, and now is the time to really just execute a specific. But I think to some extent it helps us now because it's just the two of us. We don't have small children anymore.
What helps
And
us?
it's just you and me, and
Right.
so you don't have the concern of raising children
Okay.
and the expense that they bring
Right. I mean, at that time, you're just all consumed
by
in
them.
them and
By
doing
them.
and take care of them, and a lot of times you lose sight of what you should be doing to plan for the future during that
For
time.
yourselves.
For yourselves and for them. Even when it comes to like college education, we didn't save correctly. We didn't
No,
start
we
when
didn't
they
do
were
a lot of things, but I'm convinced of the fact that it doesn't matter. What matters is what we're doing now. What matters is that we've put ourselves in a position where we can really, really, truly focus on what it is that we want to do, and
right.
also focus on, okay, what does the next phase, decade of our life, what is it going to look like? Where we're going to be?
Yeah.
What are we going to be doing?
Right, and that's why we signed a 2-year lease in this apartment. We just chose not to buy right now because we don't know where we want to be. We don't know what we want really either. We just know it was the right time to sell.
Yeah.
So we took advantage of
Advantage
that,
of
and
the
we knew
market, yeah.
that house was probably not going to be the house for us after certain things transpired through the time period that house was not going to be the house for us. So why not take advantage of the market and then get yourself set up, give it that extra boost that we needed
That we needed,
that
yeah.
we needed
Yeah.
to do that. But so in future episodes, we'll go over a little bit about what we're doing to invest and how we're planning to grow our money and prepare for retirement. We'll get into more of what we want to do next with this show. Trying to bring some guest people on, maybe do some speaking with it. Looking at really reaching out and trying to help you guys out there. We're look if you guys have questions or you're not sure what to do, you're in the messy middle. We may not be experiencing the exact same thing that you're going through, but we can contribute and we can help.
Well, we can help you figure a few things out, but this is the year of the fiery horse. So we're going to take the reins, and we are
We're
hitting like a
we're
rocket ship.
That's right. That's right. And to me, that's kind of is starting now
Yeah.
as we end this chapter, and then there's nothing better than starting in San Diego with our friends, and with Growth Day, and really getting re-energized to come back and start those other projects that we're going to do to add additional income. Because
Well, just get ready. Like I said, what's going to happen is it's just preparation. It's really just like we're preparing. This is the time we're preparing. We're working at it. We're not spring chickens, by the way.
speak for yourself.
So we're preparing.
In your mind, you still think you're young. In your mind, until you go to do something,
And then
Or
your
you tell-
body says, "Hey, hey, hey, hey."
That also brings back to, because here's one thing I can tell you that we didn't do very well. We used this process that we've been going through kind of as an excuse not to do different things. Between the move, preparing for the move, packing, getting rid of stuff, the snow, the midwinter. So we stopped exercising the
Yep.
way that we should.
Yep.
We haven't eaten the best because we would take shortcuts. Either we were too exhausted to cook. You were. And
I'm sorry, but there's two people that
I know.
can
I'm just
cook.
saying.
So I might be tired, but somebody else could have
I was
picked up.
also tired too. I'm just stressing the point is that you do most of the cooking, which I appreciate. and so we just we use those excuses.
We went out to eat a lot. We just did not follow what we had been following for
Right.
the last couple
We kind
of
of
years.
took the holidays as the opportunity to
Go downhill.
to
Just go downhill.
to deflect what we were doing.
To
Then
listen,
we just
for me to listen to that other little person that says, "Yeah, go ahead and have the donut. You know you want the donut, so go have the donut. Don't worry about it, right?" So that was, but listen, I'm not going to beat myself up.
No.
I'm not going to sit there and say, "Oh, come on."
part of it was stress eating. Part
It
of
was
it
a very
was
stressful time. Yes, it was a very stressful time. This was a big move. For some reason, for
And it was a
me, it was
condensed
a very
time.
emotional time as
Yeah.
well. There were lots of things going on. I mean, in one day, I was hit with so many epic things that had occurred. I didn't even know what to do
Right.
or how to
You reached out
respond.
to your friend,
I
really,
did. I
who,
reached out to a friend of mine and I said, I need, if you've ever heard of this, there was a long time ago, there was a story about a guy who came up with what they called a 7 minute. And what you would do is if you were in stress or you needed to vent or talk to somebody, you would say to them or text to them, do you have 7 minutes? And that was a code for them to know that you were in distress. So that kind of like a 911 type of call, but do you have 7 minutes? And that was enough to whatever that other person was at the other end to realize I
I
gotta
gotta
move a
help.
few
Yeah.
things around or I gotta reach out to this person right now. And so I did that. And I said, I need 7 minutes.
Right.
And
Well, I mean,
she was
you were
good
hit
about it. She
you were hit
really
with a
did.
lot of things, and it wasn't just about this house.
No, it was
Just
one thing about the house, but then there were two other personal issues that occurred that I I wasn't I knew, but I didn't know kind of thing. And then you know for sure, and then you're kind of like,
right.
what the
Right.
freak is going on? So it was that one day really just pushed me over the edge. I was just tired, really,
Mm-hmm.
really, really tired. But I also know that I'm a diabetic, so I know when I'm really tired is because I'm not eating right. I'm not doing certain things correctly. And being tired is a sign from a diabetic standpoint, right? If your numbers are really, really high, your body tends to want to shut down and go into like sleepy time. So I knew that, and I could sense it in myself that that's what was occurring, and it was getting worse and worse and worse. And so that also plays on your emotions when you're going through a lot. Um, some people don't get me wrong. I cried, I yelled, I was mad. I
Yeah,
did
but
the
I mean,
whole thing.
that's also where it's so important to have community and to have those friends.
Yep,
You
yep,
know
it
that
was.
that
It
we can
really was.
support and also can support
Support
us.
us. Yes,
You know,
yes.
it's something that we're also learning in church as we take this leadership class
Yeah.
that's there. I think everything that's happened has now brought us to this time in our life, and I think we are going to be serving and giving back in ways that we're not even aware of yet.
Aware of, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You're
you
right.
know, and but just to have a little faith and to believe that things are going to work out.
I've always had faith that things work out. It's just that when you're in it and you're in the mix, you're just like,
Yeah, yeah, and it's you. I tend to, anyways, think of the things that are not going to work out right, or think that, like, even with the permit things, that they're going to go and discover something else when they come to do the inspection. But see, my mind always goes in different places
yes,
than what it should. But I'm sure I'm not the only one that thinks like that at times, or that you run through a million different scenarios in your head,
right.
you
Versus
know.
if they ask you a question, you give the answer to that question. You don't elaborate. There's no reason to
Right.
elaborate. Stick, to, stick to the question
But also,
and respond accordingly.
also believe that things are going to work out and that you have faith in what's going to happen. I mean, there were times last week that I prayed about what was going on,
Yeah,
you know, and that things would work their way out, and they
yeah,
did.
yeah. They
So,
did. They did, and they are. They are. They will as time goes by, and we're here, and you kind of get into a groove of where you're at.
right.
I think for me, there's still a transition. I'm waiting to see what the
Well, there's
seasons bring.
right, right, and it's just until it closes next week. It's like it's still not done yet, so you still don't feel like
It's finished.
it's finished. We know we're at that end.
We are.
So I mean, so this is our new setting. I'm not sure about this yet.
We'll be
About the
playing
light.
around with
Yeah,
it.
we're gonna be.
We might be. Our view is of the sound,
Let's see if
which
I can
is
actually rotate. I don't know if you can see.
you can see a little bit. There
Yeah,
you go.
there you go.
There you go.
That's a little
So
bit. So we have a nice view.
we have a great view. We're on the
of
top
the Norwalk
floor.
Harbor. Oh, now to get this back.
We're at the top floor. The building is, I think, a very secure building.
Right.
But like I said, it's a transition, so we're gonna play it out. We're gonna see where it takes us.
Yep. And so I may play around with the background and
Yeah.
what we're doing.
We may move to
Yeah.
another
So
area.
until we settle in here, like I mean, like the video that I'm seeing is down here and the camera's up here. So there's some glancing going on that I'm not sure about. But next week we will
Well,
be in
next
San
week we're gonna be
Diego.
in
I
San
don't know.
Diego.
We may do something on the road. We may not.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll get back into the groove of it when we get back.
When we get back, yeah.
So on that note, we should probably edit this.
But we won't.
So until next time,
Have a
you know,
great
like
week.
us, follow us. If you have questions or your ideas, let us know.
Give us your ideas. Send them to us via the internet.
Comments and everything else. And until next time, bye
Bye.
guys.